thanks to Allah God for raising one. Allah God himself came to visit us. It came by itself 9,000 miles to come and find that which was lost. He came here searching for something, a jewel. And that jewel that he came to find was you and I.
That's right.
And that jewel that he found one among us. One that was worthy to take his word to be the first resurrected of the dead. So that man that I'm talking about is Master Prophet Muhammad, the great Mahdi, the God that you call, the Jehovah, the Jesus, the one that you call God. We talking about, in person. He came by himself here to America to search for you and I. And when he got here, like I said, he chose one. And the one that he chose among us was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He taught the honorable Elijah Muhammad the ways of Islam. He taught him about you and I. He taught him about himself. He taught him about ourselves. So that one, I just like to give praise to the Master Prophet Muhammad for raising the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And not only that, they left another man behind that we follow today. And the man that they left behind that we follow now is the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
Minister Louis Farrakhan is taking us to a new pinnacle. Minister Louis Farrakhan is raising us up into the thinking of God. The honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I never met Master Prophet Muhammad. I never met the honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I can say that I met a man that met a man that met a man.
That's right.
And that man that he met was Allah and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So in those three names, I'd like to greet you with the greeting words of peace of Allah. So brother, as I'm sitting right here, you see that behind us we have a flag. A flag, that represents the universe. Everything up under the sun is free. So we have a flag that is freedom, justice, and equality. That's what we must have. Is that right?
That's right.
As black people, we need freedom, justice, and equality. Is that right?
That's right.
So we've been living in this world for quite a long time. And like I said, I was put up here just at the spur of the moment. So I've been well prepared, more better. But I did get a little information on the brother that's coming up here after me. The brother that's coming on up here after me, his name is Brother Ashton. The brother will be talking about, why do you hate us? The question is, and I thought about that as he told me, why do you hate us? Do you hate us because God chose us? Do you hate us because we have black skin? Do you hate us because we are the begotten that God wants to bring up?
That's right.
We want to know, why do you hate us so much? We've never done nothing to you. You've done something to us. But now what we're going to do to you, we're going to bring God to you. What we're going to do.
That's right.
That's what we're going to serve. Right here in this mosque, if there's anything that you don't understand as the brothers are talking, you'll be able to ask Brother Ashton when he gets done any question that you have. Because I know that when we come here, we get nothing but the pure truth. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
God is unadulterated, straight, pure truth. That's what you're going to get when you come to the mosque right here. We're not shaded, nothing, we're not hiding, nothing. We want to give it all to you, brothers. So as I'm saying is, as I'm thinking, it's a blessing to be chosen by God. When you chose by God, you have no choice in choosing. When you go to the grocery store, you go pick what you want. So when you want an apple or orange, that's what you go get. And the apple or orange have no power over if you take it. This is what I want. So when God came in, whether you believe it or not, He chose you. He chose you, sister. He chose us all. He chose the black man and woman in America to be here. Is that right?
That's right.
So maybe that's why they hate us. There has to be something why you hate us. We never done nothing to you. So brothers and sisters, like I said, I was put up there on the spur of the moment. But Brother Ashton, when he comes up here, this brother's been in the nation for quite a long time. I've heard him give numerous lectures over and over again. He helped me become the better man that I am. Because when I saw him, I was like, this brother right here is still sticking and striving. I came in, I fell out a little bit. I come back, I still see Brother Ashton. Brother Ashton is a brother's brother. He's a soldier's soldier. You know what I'm saying? That brother carries the word of God with him. He takes the word with him and he gives it to the people. So when this brother comes up, just make sure that your ears is open. You listen to what he's saying, and he's going to give us a good meal today. We're coming to get fed, and Brother Ashton is going to feed us today.
That's
so
right.
with no further ado, I'd like to bring before you our brother,
Brother Jay was put up here in the spur of the moment, but I think he did very well.
Yes, sir.
I have to talk about some of the things he put in there. I should have had in mind. So, but I just want to make sure I open up in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful, the one true and living God who came to us in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. whom all holy praises forever due. And in the name of this exalted Christ, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and in the name of our divine reminder, the Honorable Minister of Scriptural, I bid you greetings, sisters, brothers, and believers of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
But let's get brother here, because he's the spur of all. Because, yeah, that is the question I had, because I was asked a few days ago, and I put this lecture together kind of quick. So my prayer is that God speak through me, and that you get something out of this, because one thing I don't want to do is waste your time. Because if you're here and you don't get anything out of what I said, I'm wasting your time. And time is something once passed, you can't get it back.
That's right.
And so I don't want to steal that from you. So inshallah, if God is willing, He will speak through me, and you will hear the word of God coming through me and not hear me. You don't need to hear me. Because I may not have anything for you. But if God's got something for you, He can speak through me, and I'll be a mouthpiece for Allah. So that's my prayer, that I can get something to you and not waste your time. But before I start, though, I just want to thank a few people. First of all, thank God for waking me up this morning.
That's sweet.
Like the Christian said, in my right mind. I'm praising God in my right mind. So, but also, I want to thank the Muhammad family for the sacrifices they made, so that we could have a little place for us to get this knowledge, and and we can give this knowledge to you. I thank the Farrakhan family for the sacrifices they made, because you have no idea unless you sit and meditate on it, how much sacrifice those families had. Don Elijah Muhammad, Don Louis Farrakhan, they went out throwing a baseball with their sons, taking their daughters to the debutante ball or whatever. They didn't have time for that. Because they were trying to raise a nation of dead people. So, in their effort, their family was sacrificed. So, I just want to make sure we thank them and recognize the sacrifice that they made. And I also want to thank Brother Student Minister Herman Muhammad. He's out of town. And he asked me to speak, so I pray that I do well, that I can represent him as well as the teachers of Almighty Muhammad. And so I thank Brother Herman for trusting me to get up here. Now let's see. So first thing I want to say is that when I talk about time, because we're in a real strange time here. I mean, if you have any knowledge of what's been going on in the past, say, 20 years, it's just something crazy going on today, especially the political climate. Right now, we're looking at voting in an old grandpa who can barely walk and barely talk, or a convicted felon, a compulsive liar, a racist, misogynist, and everything else you want to call him. And really, if you study, if you can research the development or the rise of Adolf Hitler, if you study that and look at Donald Trump, you see a lot of similarities. Now, a lot of us are afraid of Donald Trump. But really, me, I don't fear him. Fear only Allah. That's right. But the scary part is not him so much. It's that half the country believes in him.
Right.
And when you study Hitler, he had a certain people that went along with him no matter what. They were blind followers. Whatever he said do, they did it. We have the same type of thing coming up here. Now, half the country doesn't want it. Well, but when you look at the so-called minorities, you will see that, I'm thinking, it's my guess, 90-95% of them not going to vote for him. Which means it has to be around 70-75% of white folks believe in him. That's the scary part.
Right.
That he has so many of that group, like Hitler had the Aryan with him. They took out everybody else. This is a real dangerous time. Don Louis Farrakhan said the next 3 years are going to be very rough before there's ease. When he said that, I said, oh no, we got trouble. But whether we get him or not, next 3 years is going to be tough. We have to make sure we're prepared. And there's a people that put us in slavery. They mistreated us, abused us, murdered us. But we are taught to love them. Not in here. We're taught as black people to love them. Yet all they have done to us, they still hate us. Now I just want to start this by going through a little bit of scripture. Now, there's no children here, so I can go and read it like it is. Otherwise, I would substitute the word donkey. This is from Numbers. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went to the princess of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with a sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside and went away into the field. And Balaam smote the ass and turned her into the way. Got back in the path. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself into the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. And he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went forth further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn to either right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me. I would there were a sword in my hand, for now I will kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, am I not thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine unto this day?
That's a black man.
Was I ever want to do so unto thee? And he said, nay. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord saw him, said unto him, wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now I also have slain thee and saved her life. And Balaam said unto the angel of the Lord, I have sinned. He repented. For I know not that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease thee, I will get thee back again. So, this thing I want to just point out is that 28? Yes. He said the Lord opened the mouth. Let's go to this one first. And the ass said unto Balaam, am I not thine ass unto you? Which I basically said, I'm your property. Yes. You're my master. Yes. You're riding me. And I've been riding you ever since the day you had me. So why would you do this? And you know I'm not going to turn against you. But you're going to beat me anyway. There must be a reason. But, notice that when the Lord opened the mouth, the donkey had a question for him. Now, the donkey was property of Balaam. He didn't mind being property. He didn't mind being rid. He didn't mind carrying his master. It's only when the donkey had a choice of obeying the master or obeying the Lord did the donkey realize that the master has a whip and a staff, but an angel has a sword. Knowing that his backside can withstand more than his neck, can withstand more than his neck can against that sword, the donkey decided he's going to go another route. He started thinking now. And at that time, the donkey decided to obey the Lord. And we as black people, we like that. That's how we are. In slavery, we were the burden bearers.
Right.
We were the donkeys.
Right.
Now, and I know when somebody see this, well, brother, you weren't back there. When I say we, our ancestors was in this for 310 years of physical labor of slavery, and then mental and spiritual slavery and everything after that. This is in our very genetic makeup. So when I say we,
Facts.
then yes, I'm justified in saying we, because it's in my genetic makeup. So in slavery, we were the asses. We have been carried around a slave master since we've been here, since he brought us here. Teach, Father. We didn't mind being property because we were raised in that. If you were raised in slavery, you don't know any other way of life.
Right.
So you don't necessarily fight against it because you don't know anything else. Much like a lot of us now, we think we're free. You were raised in it, so you don't see the slavery that you're in.
That's right.
I'm not here to convince you of that. But remember, in slavery, you work for food, clothing, and shelter. Most of us, that's what we work for right now.
Right.
Food, clothing, and shelter. Now, so the donkey didn't mind being property, but when the angel of the Lord stood in his path, the donkey started talking.
Started thinking.
In a human voice. Now here's the donkey with the big eyes, always looked down, never looked up. And the big ears, never heard anything. And that big dumb face that belied the intelligence behind it. But when the factor came up, yeah, the master has that whip, but an angel has a sword. So he decided, I need to speak up. And the first thing he had for his master when he spoke was a question. Why did you hit me these 3 times? So we as black people, I tell you, we don't mind being slaves. But why do you have to beat me too? See, when slaves revolted back during slavery, it wasn't because they were property. It was because they were being mistreated.
Right.
As long as you treated them, you didn't beat them too much, they didn't rebel. It's when it got so bad, they said, it's got to be something better. We don't know anything outside this plantation, there's got to be something better than this. And then they revolted. See, white folks brought us out from Africa into slavery. Burned us, lynched us, worked us, you can't see morning, can't see night. Did they do it because they needed to do it? No. They wanted to beat us. They wanted to rape us. They wanted to hurt us. So, if we're doing all of this, the only reason you want to hurt somebody is out of hatred. Why do they hate us? What have we done to make them hate us? And white folks did this to us. I know someone said, you shouldn't say that, but they had wives. Why would they leave their bedroom and go to the shack and rape black women?
Good question.
And have it stop. They had money. Why didn't they pay their slaves? So they could have a living life. They haven't stopped. They had good food. But they fed us garbage.
Till this day.
Haven't stopped.
Haven't stopped.
Still eating chitlins and hog maws and big feet.
Lord have mercy.
Now they fed the horses and the cows and made them strong because they were farm animals. They needed them to work. But we were farm animals too. Why didn't they feed us better, keep us strong? Why did they do this if it wasn't hatred? Why did they hate us? They considered us inferior. We became that donkey. We became that ass. And we were okay with that until they started whipping us. And that's how we are today. A lot of our people won't stand up for anything until somebody gets beat down or shot down. And then all of a sudden everybody stand up on protest.
Say that. That's right.
But don't you see the condition you're in before all this happened?
Yes, sir.
You got to get whipped before you stand up and say something. So when the police kill somebody, what did they say? Why did they do that? You know what the donkey said when he started talking?
Yes, sir. Might be 10 times.
And they also work on our subconscious. I think a lot of you know this. I'm just going to do it quickly. They taught us that everything in the language, everything is black is bad, right? Why did they do that? Why would they do that? Now, if you look at extort money, goods or favors from somebody, you blackmail them, right?
Yes, sir.
If somebody gets kicked out, they are blackballed, right? If you're under suspicion, disfavor, not going to be hired for some reason, you're on the blacklist. Blacklist. When the bubonic plague was here, it was called the Black Death. If you wish evil on somebody, you're black-hearted. Black magic is that used for evil. Now, if you're censured because of wrongdoing, there's a black mark against you. If you steal goods and sell them illegally, or you need to buy some illegal goods, where do you go? Black mark.
That's right.
Look out. If you steal from the rest of the family, not in a good way. You call shame on the family, which is still family. You're just the black sheep of the family. Remember the old cowboy movie? Good guys with a white hat. Bad guys with a black hat. Which is more black? Now we believe, a lot of us, that if a black cat cross your path, that's bad luck. It's really been that white cat been crossing your path all these years. Go ahead. Yes, sir. You know that ancient food cake is that white cake. That dark chocolate cake, that's the devil food cake. Now, you shouldn't lie. But if you have to, make sure you tell what? They're white now. They did this to us, man. The psychological, the subconscious, they did this to us. Why? Because they hate us. You wouldn't do that to somebody you showed love to. Now, they not only hate us, but they taught us to hate ourselves. I said something before a Christian group, I remember it was a church many years ago, and when I got up to speak, I saw a few people get up and walk out. And I just kind of did a little bit of admonishment. So I said, it's a shame that we accept a religion that teaches us to love our enemy, but can't show love to your own brother. Shame on you, Christians. But they do it because they say we don't believe in Jesus. But when we say, yes, we do believe in Jesus, we tell them that. They don't hear that. They'll still tell us we don't believe in Jesus. But Jews don't believe in Jesus. Talk about it. But blacks believe in them. Talk about it. How do you teach us to hate ourselves? You don't mind when you use the word once or twice. Then I'll just say in. But you tell a baby when it's born, you're nothing, you're no good, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're a nigger. Tell them that. 20 years. What do you think you're going to get after 20 years? But that same child, you tell them, you're great, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're a God. You tell them that for 20 years. What are you going to have at the end of 20 years? So what have they been telling us in the words, in the subconscious, in the books, in the commercials, in the sitcoms. You know, not even on Christmas. You know, they don't even have enough black on Christmas. Right? The fat white man comes from the North Pole. Even on the holiday, you tell us with ends. Turn on the TV show, you got cop shows. That's us. Yeah. Remember the multi commercials? There was one a while back. The brother was going through all the stuff he go through during the daytime, all the rigors of his job and everything else. Then he gets home, sits down on the sofa, backs over the hall liquor, and said, "Now things are back to normal." Back to normal. Sit down, look at TV, drinking malt liquor. That's back to normal. Y'all, some of y'all maybe old enough to remember that. What's that? Remember that? What's that? You know, commercial. Both that black folks.
Right.
That used to make me so bad. What? And they're hanging from me out there. What's that? I ain't gonna do that. And at one point, you know, one called his friend and said, "What's that?" And he sit down and said, "Nothing. Just chilling, drinking the book." Really? So what are they telling us? Looking at some of the sitcoms, they have us as buffoons and clowns.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And, you know, I don't know if there may be some of your favorite shows, but, you know, I have a hard time looking at, like, the Parkers, the Wayans brothers, even, you know, Martin. Yeah, it's funny. But it seems like the stupider we act, the funnier it is. But, you know, after a while, you start seeing the trick. Every day they tell you you're an idiot. White folks at one time said, remember the Cosby Show? They said the Cosby Show was not realistic. Why was it not realistic? Because you had a man, a black man, and a black woman together, married. And they still love each other after 5 children. Still love each other. They're both professionals, both successful. The only boy was not gangbanging. He wasn't on drugs. Girls weren't getting pregnant.
Right.
You know, they weren't running around and, you know, and acting crazy. And white folks say, this is not realistic.
Very like it.
Negroes don't supposed to act like that. But he put a positive something out there for us to see. And they want to shoot it down. Look at those people. Yeah. But you put us in this condition.
Right.
God said, let us make man. God didn't never say, let us make a nigga. White man did that.
Yes, sir.
Now deal with it. And how do you deal with a nigga? You chase it down on the street, you bust it in the head, you shoot it down, you kill it. That's how you treat it. Or you can go to the army and fight for your country. And be all you can ever be in the society.
Yes, sir.
See, we're in a hell of a condition. In 1865, after 310 years of physical bondage, they so-called freed us. Now, 310 years of labor, what did we get? We got crumbs. Didn't anything. But when you free a people that have been in bondage, and you never give them the tools they need to get a start, what kind of justice is that? Just like if I tell you right now, when you walk outside the door, the only thing you have is what you have on you. You have no money, you have no car, you have no place to live, you have no job. Okay, you walk outside the door, okay, you're free. What are you going to do? Well, that's what they did in slavery. They said, okay, Negro, you're free. They open the gate and say, go, you're free. But you don't give them the tools they need. You don't give them any land. You don't give them anything so they can get a start. So what did they do? The only thing they could do is turn right back around and go back to the plantation. And right now, in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, I think some parts of Georgia, we still have sharecroppers.
That's right.
People who don't, never seen school, don't even know what a TV is, don't have any medical help, no dental help, young teenagers, no teeth are rotten because they're in that situation, it's living just like slaves today. They don't show you that. It still exists. Now, to put it putting us in this condition, why would you want to kill us now? Because they hate us. Why do they hate us? Remember Pharaoh? Story of Moses? Moses went to Pharaoh, was commissioned by God to go to Pharaoh, and with the message to let my people go. Remember that? And when he went there, he went to Pharaoh, and then he whipped him with plagues. 10 plagues here. And Pharaoh finally said, okay, let him go. And they let him go. And after a while, Pharaoh's anger was kindled. Right? Pharaoh got so angry that he sent his army to kill them. After he freed them, he sent the army to kill them. Do you see that happening today?
Yes, sir.
After they so-called freed us?
Yes, sir.
They now want to kill us?
Facts. Teach, Mom.
Thank you, sir. Let the rain go. Now, do we remember our brother, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi? Yes, he was our brother. Yes, he was. They did some things to turn a lot of our people against Muammar Gaddafi. But he's our brother.
Right.
Muammar Gaddafi is our African brother. I think he's a Muslim also. Absolutely. When he wanted to give the nation some money, white folks say, no, you can't give them anything. We like our Negroes the way they are. No independence for the Negro. We want them to be dependent on us, because if they're dependent on us, we can control them. So they don't want us to have freedom, justice, and equality. Then they turn Negroes against Muammar Gaddafi. Now here it is, black folks calling Gaddafi a terrorist. But is he a terrorist? Who says so? White man says so. Same white man that put us in slavery. Same one that raped us, lynched us, burned us, castrated us, decapitated us, mutilated us, cutting off hands and feet. That same one told us, don't listen to that man, he's a terrorist. Do we see people crazy? And a lot of us bought it because we're already in that mental condition now that we bought it.
Right.
Come on. You can't see an enemy tell you, don't listen to this man because he's your enemy. No, he's your enemy. I don't fight anybody. This ain't Jesus, by the way. Just in case anybody thought that it might be last week. That's not Jesus. Just for the record. Now, the Negroes calling Gaddafi a terrorist. Now, white man is the one that struck terror in the hearts and minds of black people all over the world for thousands of years. Yet he called someone else a terrorist? He's a hypocrite. How can you call somebody else a terrorist for all that you've done? Muammar Gaddafi not only wanted to help us, but he was helping revolutionaries all over the world. That's right. That's what they didn't like. He was helping black people all over the world. They didn't want that. So the government didn't allow our brother to give us any money or anything. But the government gives their white brother in Israel $4 to $10 million a year of our tax dollars. They didn't ask us for permission. They took our tax dollars and just give it to them. And Israel's not a welfare state. We have black people starving over the world. They're not starving in Israel. Come on, why are they getting money? And they call Gaddafi a terrorist, but Israelis call Bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, call them all terrorists. But Israel, the Israelis are killing Arabs, and right now they're kind of wiping people out in Gaza. Come on. Even Grandpa Biden, I told him, he's a strong voice, he said, you need to stop killing these innocent people. You need to stop what you're doing. And in the Republican convention, a Jewish man stood up and said that Joe Biden turned his back on the Jews. That's the same man. Yes. turned his back on the Jew because he said, stop killing these innocent people. And remember, 70-75% of them believe it. But they hate us. Now the government says that it's afraid that Mr. Farrakhan will go terrorism in the United States. That's why they want him to have no money. But he doesn't have to. This society is in a revolt against itself. Come on. Now here it is, a man that may be the next president, married 3 times, cheating on all his wives, but he's out there selling bodies. I don't know about you, I find that very hypocritical. The education system is in revolt against itself.
Right.
Nothing political gangbanging going on right now. And we haven't heard from the militias, the white folks jumped out in the woods, armed. We haven't heard from them in a while. But see, when this political gangbanging is going on, when this country divides up sufficiently, you're going to see them rise back up again. Come on. That's not something I heard, that's something I just believe. They ain't gone, they haven't gone anywhere. They're still there. So you'll see them again. Now what the government's really afraid of is that Mr. Farrakhan will wake up black people who are killing each other and make them realize who the real enemy is and then start killing the enemy.
Right.
That's what they're afraid of. But that's not the heart of black people. We come in the power, we're not going to do that to them when they get to us, but they believe we will. And some of us would like to. But that's not the mind of black people. So, school we have to look at. Now, our condition has made us to hate each other. Black man and woman trying to dominate each other.
Right.
Instead of trying to work together.
Right.
And that's a condition of slavery. I don't have time to get into that now. Now, but for those who are maybe here and here, not necessarily talking to this is here, but everybody might hear it. When you have a man, you can't cut him down. You can't belittle him. I mean, he's struggling to be a man. He was destroyed as a human being through slavery. Now he's trying to come up. Don't cut him down. Because especially you cut him down in front of people, or in front of, if he has children, in front of the children, then you have the wrath of the devil coming out of that man. And now he's gonna get this. Now he's gonna start beating them. Brothers, you don't need to be beating on them. No sisters. You gotta use wisdom when you deal with women and females. Do I know how to do it? I'm still working on it. I'm only 70. But think about it, you gotta stop playing games with each other.
Right.
This woman is our heaven.
That's right.
With that, but she can be our hell too. If she is not, if she don't see the God in you. The sister, you gotta be able to see the God in that man.
That's right.
You gotta have that God in you.
That's right.
Some sisters don't see the God in the man. They see that as being weak. And then try to control the man. And once you control him, you don't want him anymore.
Right.
I don't want to walk into a relationship. Teach him, mommy, teach him. So I'm looking forward to that. That's something you got to prepare for. I'm talking about that. But all I'm saying is, as they hate us, they can't have us hate each other. We got to come together. We got to understand that we damage goods. And we got to help each other rise up.
That's right.
The woman has to be your help meet. But you got to meet that obligation.
That's right.
You got to strive to do it. So black man, leave that white woman alone. Just leave that white man alone. I know when you, they're not from outside the tracks. You know, they don't, they're not hip to the things we hip to, you know. I mean, it's okay for a white man, but why should you give up being black to get with slave masters' children? Now I know you might look at that, look at them pretty blue eyes. You might see him and just, you know, they say, well, I just fell in love with his eyes. Yeah. And you take the beard off, I can point to you because that was a woman who take the beard off, the one on the left. Look at it. Yeah. You see that across the room. Then someone say, well, you know, I fell in love. Now, when you get with the slave master's children, you basically check your blackness at the door. Facts. In most cases, 99% of the cases, you got to check your blackness at the door. I had a final call newspaper on the phone a few years ago. Offered to a brother who was sitting in the passenger seat. Brother was like final call newspaper. He looked over to his left. White woman driving the car. She looked over at him and did this. He looked at me and said, "Don't thank you. I bear witness." And happening too? It's happening too. You gotta basically check your blackness at the door. I asked the brother, I said, "Does she speak for you?" Then I walk away because I'm about to strain him. I didn't want to go to that. I mean, so we get that white woman, we get that white man, but our blackness goes out the window. We're afraid to wear that kitchen cloth again. Boo-boo's okay. We're afraid to bring the black music into the home. Rap is okay as long as it's gangster rap, all not killing each other. We don't have, we're afraid to look at black movies. I mean, Friday's okay, you know. Soul Plane is okay. Don't look at Rosewood. You don't want to insult your white partner, right? You don't want to insult her. So she can be as white as she wants to be. He can be as white as he wants to be. But you got to check your blackness at the door. You can have a subscription to Life magazine, People magazine, and whatever newspaper, Zed, Rocky Mountain News, all of them still exist. Newsweek, you can have all of those magazines and periodicals in your house. Don't bring the final call in it. That's right. Talk about it, bro. Everything's okay. John Elijah said, that's why I have to teach my people the knowledge of who they are. When they know themselves, they fall in love with themselves. That love brings them to unity, and unity gives them power.
That's right.
So, now it's not a racist thing. It's a respect thing. Black woman stuck with us for 400 years, keeping us alive. Allowed herself to be used by the white man to help us. But now we can't choose to allow ourselves to be used. We leave a black woman and we go brothers and romance the slave master's daughter. The black man and woman deserve more respect than that from each other. That's right. Some say that love is blind. But does love have to be stupid as well? Some say, well, I fell in love. You fell in love. To me, you fell in love. What is that? You walk along like love is a holding ground. You walk and fell in love. No, that ain't right. You see blue eyes here, right? Male or female. You see, you slide them across the college room. You gaze into their eyes, you like what you see. Then you get up and go and introduce yourself. Then you sit and chat. Then let's have coffee. Then let's have lunch. Then later, let's have dinner. Later, let's have breakfast. See where I'm going? Yes. And then say, I don't know what happened. I fell in love. No, you didn't fall. You didn't fall. You jumped in. Right? You didn't fall in love. You jumped in. There's something you have to do. That doesn't happen by magic. Now, what has the white woman done to deserve a good black man? What is nothing? Nothing. What has a white man done to deserve a good black woman?
Absolutely
Nothing. Now you gotta understand that white man is a salute. That white man is a producer though. Now that's something that just has to be careful. Black man is struggling. And he's trying to get there, help him get there. You see the white man is producing all this stuff, so you go there. But you gotta think about also there's a nature that you're dealing with. Now, it's a disclaimer. Since we get it, I'm going back to religion again. I apologize. Pray I don't say nothing wrong. But you might get a black man that treats you worse than a white man. That's true. You might get a black woman that treats you worse than any white woman can treat you. But still, you have to understand the nature of people. Now, there's a song, I'm putting you in 5 more minutes, I'll be done. There's a song a long time ago that was sung. It was about a woman who was coming home from work, and it was cold and rainy, and she saw a snake half frozen. You know, and she saw the snake was going to die. So she picked up the snake and brought it home, and put it on the heart of the fireplace so it could be warm, put some food there for it to eat. And then the next day she came and checked on it, and the snake was alive now. You know, and she said, "Oh, so you made it, you didn't die, you survived." And she picked the snake up and caressed it to her breast. And the snake bit her. It was a poisonous snake. And she said, "Why did you do this? Now I'm going to die. But I saved you from certain death. You were freezing to death. I brought you and took care of you. Why did you do this?" And he said, "You knew I was a snake and you brought me in here." Look up that song. I think it's called The Snake. Powerful. Because that speaks to the nature of what we're dealing with. Now, my conclusion. A lot of black men died because of that white woman. So black woman stuck by our side. Even during slavery, that white woman wanted that black man. And she got it. And then she got caught, she yelled rape, and that was it. He's going to die a horrible death. They're going to be mutilated, they're going to castrate him, they're going to burn him, they're going to do everything. Because they believed that he was raping that white woman. Many men have died behind him, and it's still going on. But black woman has paid her dues. White woman has paid her dues. Black man has paid dues. White man has paid her dues. Now the sister may have to adjust to being a queen woman. Because if she don't know a true king when she sees one, she might see it as being weak. But you have to have God in you. And you have to be able to recognize that God. So, again, I don't want to go too much relationship. I just want to end with this. I asked the question again, why do they hate us? Oh, one thing I want to say, because when you see a real man, you got to be able to recognize him. Now, we give you examples. Not just the way they look, investigate the way they are.
That's right.
Listen to what they say. And then you see that inside of me. I mean, we all can be cute. You're cute to somebody. I don't care how you are. You're cute to somebody. So, but you got to look at the inside. Where's that God inside? We have examples here. But they still, started by asking, why do they hate us? See, we get accused of teaching hate. The best teachers of hate for the white folks is what the white folks themselves talk about. If black people knew their history, if you know your history, and you don't hate them a little bit, something's wrong with you. If you knew your history. I end with this. We don't teach hate. We teach truth.
Right.
Look at this scenario, and I'm done. Black man sitting on a horse, the noose around his neck. Hands not tied. But he doesn't have the knowledge of where he is or who he is. There's a man behind him, that horse with a paddle, white man. He's about to hit the horse. If he does, what's going to happen to that man? He's going to die. So I come up, and I tell him, brother, look at yourself. Wake up. You're sitting on a horse with a noose around your neck. There's a man behind you, the path. Right man. He's about to hit the horse. If he does, you're going to die. Now there's some things that he can do. A lot of avenues he can take. He can ignore me, as we do.
Come on.
He cannot believe me, as we do.
Come on.
He can say, I don't want to hear nothing y'all Muslims got to say. Ever heard that? Many avenues he can take. But there's only one avenue he can take that will save his life. To reach up, take the news off his neck. Now, if he does that, that means I just taught him something. Now, when that white man hits that horse and gets off, not only did I save his life by telling him the truth, now he's got a free horse. So, thank you. I pray that you got something out of it today. Like I said, I had to put it together that was quick, but again, I don't want to waste your time. So, if you got something out of it, all praise to you, Lord. If you did not, please forgive me, but please come back. Because Brother Herman is a very beautiful and gifted teacher. There's others who stand before you and gifted teachers, but I still pray that you got something out of it today. So, but before I get off the roster, I just want to ask, are there any questions that something I said that you may have a question on? Or something about the nation, or anything, the government, whatever, that you have a question on? If I can answer it, I will answer it with truth. If I don't know the answer, I will say I don't know. And I'll see if somebody else knows. If nobody else can hear knows, we will get the answer for you. We do have the people who will give you that answer. So, are there any questions? Yes, sir.
I was just wondering that I agree with the 2025 bill. The 2025 bill, are you familiar with it?
I think was that one with
That Donald Trump rolled up, Project 25.
that, say for example, one of the things was, if you were like a public worker, what do you call it, civil service worker, that he's going to put the people in that are loyal to him,
Yeah.
and you basically lose your job. I heard it.
It's in the back of that bill. It's almost like back to slavery. I bet it's
No, to me, brother, that's like back in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
That's what Hitler did. Hitler put people in power that believed in him and killed people that didn't believe in him. Now, Trump said if you're not going to deny the election that was fixed, that he should have won that last time, then be gone.
A woman has no right to her body no more in that bill.
And
Going to jail and get killed. She try to have an abortion. All the more black funding for schools. All the federal programs are closed, like when we shut down Medicaid, Obamacare, welfare, food stamps, all that's going to be gone. It's going to be dictatorship that's in the bill. No more democracy, no more voting. You try to protest, the marshals will come there, they're forced to you, you can get shot and killed. It's like no more rights at all. It's incredible. You got to read it, y'all. It's like 9
Well, like I said,
pages. You can skip through it and you'll see some amazing stuff. That's if you win. The bill is already on the desk. They wait on him to win the sign.
yeah. And like I said, if you study the rise of Hitler and study Trump, you see a similarity.
Right. See,
And he said next 3 years is going to be rough.
see,
And then, so this might come to pass. But something's got to happen. So, if something happens, we got to be ready to take over that leadership. Not leadership, leadership.
Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to comment on, brother, welfare was never made for black women. It was only made for white women when their husbands went to war. And truthfully, we as black people, if you go to the system now, we don't need their services because we don't even use it. We go to work.
Black people still use food stamps.
No, they don't. No, they don't. If my whole point of it is if there are black women that use food stamps, it's about 5 of them. Because they really, and I'm just telling you about
Black people
statistics.
still use food stamps.
Brother, give me a chance.
Okay.
Black people still use food stamps, but not as many as white people. You have to remember that the keep our eyes on that beautiful black man that's 91 years old, and we're going to get through this. That's just it. So they can do 2025, 2026, 2030. For all we care, we're going to be here servicing our people. And we're going to show you. And if you keep your eye on Nation of Islam here in Denver, we get ready to show you how we get ready to take this to a new height. Because we get ready to service our people. Because we don't care about their 2025. We have brothers here right now that service where they can give you a job right now. And we have sisters here that have pantries that's getting ready to give food out to our people. So we're ready. It's just where we can't worry about what they doing, keep their world, and we have to be too busy trying to build our own.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a sister here. First.
Yes, sir. I sound like a couple. How does how did the current global crowd strike affect us, and how does that play into teachings and prophecy?
The
Crowd strike with the IT outage, whether it was planes, banks, airlines. How does that play into things time into prophecy?
That's a beautiful question for Brother Gerald, who's always on this local thing. And I was working on preparing this lecture when I was coming, so I wasn't looking at it. So I can speculate, but I can't answer because I really don't know. But, like I said, I can speculate, but we have to look at things now. We had someone coming, supposed to be flying from California into Colorado Springs yesterday. He got there, his flight was canceled because of this. You know, just things that happen. So, but I don't want to speculate on what it is. But that is something we can look at. Now, can someone else answer that question consistently? Because I don't want to say that.
It affected our facility. I said it affected our facility. No one could pass medication electronically. Now this is when we go back to paper. You know what I'm saying? So we have what they call in the nursing homes or any type of medication place, what they call paper marks. Now instead of you using Google Maps, now what they did is make you go in the store and buy it.
Certain things. Right now, if you don't have it on your phone, you can't get around. I mean, it's like so. Like I just said, we have to be basically rooted in reading and doing things. When I go on a trip, I still bring a map. I might use GPS when I bring a map, and I'll look at the map before I go. You got to use some skills we can't lose. But running that.
Yeah. I was just saying, I think they fear us. They don't understand us, and they can sense the power and the energy in us. You know, they may sometimes be the smartest in the room, but even they can sense that we're greater in a way. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Scripture says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. You probably heard the broken down the 85% of the ignorant masses, the 10% who know the truth, and then the 5%, the poor righteous teachers who teach the 85%. And then that comes into play because it kind of comes down to that. And something said, say what you said a long time, so get back to my mind.
I was saying that they fear us because they don't understand us. And they have power. We have a natural power, a natural energy about us. Godly energy, they don't know where it comes from.
Right. And you can't get it. That 10%, they know those who are in power.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know who we are. They know who Minister Farrakhan is. There have been Jewish leaders who told Minister Farrakhan we know who we are. But they can't say anything because they will be ostracized or maybe be killed. They know who we are. The ignorant masses don't. That's why we are out there with the paper and doing lectures and everything. We're trying to teach that 85%. But there are those who know, who run the world, who know who we are. And they will, yes, they will try to hold us down. And they will try to, because they know and they fear, like I said earlier, that if we come into power and we rise up, we will do to them what they're delighted in doing us for 450 years. And they think we would do that to them. But, like I said, that is not the mind of black people, and we're not being prepared for that, because when we come into rulership, like I said, not leadership, but rulership, we have to rule, not the way they rule. Come on, we have to rule in a godly way.
Right.
That's why when Master Father Muhammad came, he looked like this. He's a black man, but he had to come looking like, they say he came in sinful flesh, condemn sin in the flesh. So he had to be able to judge both. So he had to be able to go to both and judge clarity. Because, we can't just judge, say all white folks need to burn in hell. Which really, I'll just say this and I'm starting an election. But there was some years ago, Don Muhammad said, stop calling white people devils. Because we have become the same devil we've been teaching them. He said, but he didn't let them off the hook. He said, call them Satan, slave master's children. Because they are still an enemy. They're still the slave master's children. And Satan makes devils.
Right.
They made us into devils. So, again, going into another election. But when we come to rulership, we have to be able to rule with equity. Is that the word? Equality. Equality. Equal. Because our flag, as brother says, freedom, justice, and equality. That don't mean we have equality among us, but we dog other people. No. Some of us are married to white people. Some of us have white mothers and fathers. Come on. You can't go home and say, you devil. Your mother's white. You can't go home and say, you call your mother a devil. No. We don't do that. Respect your mother. Respect your father. That's right. But I was like, I want good teacher. Any more questions? That might be part of my next question. Yes, sir. Okay, well.